little run in the team in March into April. He was in the side that beat Arsenal, the team that won at Stoke. Never established as a first-choice Liverpool centre-back. An experienced cover. Flag is up here against Jimmy Vasalako.
It's important to have that quality of cover throughout a league season, especially with European football and the amount of matches. It's important that those players are in tune and aware of the team's philosophy and formation and can step in and do a solid job in big games.
Vasalako was looking along the line there, probably shouldn't have been caught offside. Gomez. Mane. Woodburn. It's an interesting ball in and flicked on by Solanke and only just wide. He's already looking a bonus, Dominic Solanke.
Nice check back and lovely whipped ball in, great angle and height and always on the move, Solanke, you know, arriving in that area exactly where you want your centre forward to be, arriving in the middle of the box with speed and nice glancing header, just not quite enough contact to guide it into that far post.
Clever header. I mean, 19 years of age, he looked like a signing for the future, but the present is already very much providing opportunities for Dominic Solanke. He's taken a couple already in Liverpool colours during the pre-season. Flanagan did enough. Lallana's skill seemed to defeat the two Atletico players. I'm not quite sure why he didn't get a free kick there. Katie Barry, Cranavita, Correa. Was under pressure. Fairly flimsy pressure, but he's won a free kick.
Liverpool are going to be hard done by with Lallana not winning a free kick and the referee awarding one there because they were on the counter-attack. It was a loose pass and Woodburn was running straight at the back four.
This is the man who took charge of the Champions League final in Cardiff this year, so he knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean we have to agree with every decision he gives. This is Jimenez, the centre-back. Away by Klavan, but only as far as Thomas. Norman Woodburn eventually sorting it out. Side flag up.
There's a lot of loose balls at the moment, quite a few balls popping out of challenges and what have you. It's who can get hold of the ball and really take control.
Liverpool were a goal up against Bayern this stage already last night. They made a very smooth beginning to that match. A little untidier tonight.
It's more the tempo Liverpool started at last night. They were out of the blocks and before Bayern could blink really, they were hitting them on the counter-attack pace.
Lallana. Mane. Jurgen Klopp has said that Mane here and Salah will set the tempo for Liverpool this season. And that's the case. It's going to be a pretty quick one. Mane is free here. Lallana. It's come across and Woodburn has space. But he did come under some pressure at the very last moment from Vasalico and couldn't control the volley.
Really good play here from Alana. He wanted to lay it down the line, but realised it was covered and took an extra touch, dinked a nice ball to the back post, and nice shape from Woodburn there. You know, technically, he's made good contact with the ball, just under a little bit of pressure there that put him off, I think, at the end.
He came on the left side of the attack last night for the final 15 minutes. He has played most of his junior football as a striker or as a support striker, but he has been deployed as a midfield player in the last few weeks by Jurgen Klopp. It's the time of the year for looking at different things, different positions. Correa escaped Gomez momentarily. Good recovery by Joe Gomez. Here is Ben Woodburn. Still, let us not forget, just 17 years of age.
It's great for him to play different positions as well. You know, as a player, it really makes you well-rounded. The more positions you can play and experience at a high level, it's going to make you a better player where you eventually end up settling.
Mane has found Solanke. Milner couldn't resist. A lot of yellow shirts between him and the target. Woodburn, Wijnaldum. And well, Gini Wijnaldum. Here's Ben Woodburn and James Milner. Just over the head of Solanke that time. Liverpool starting to get some cohesion into their play.
There's a good understanding in tight areas with Liverpool. The players, they're moving the ball, tight areas, lots of different changes of direction and movement. It's impressive to see in the attacking third.
Jurgen Klopp had only qualified praise for last night's performance. He said Liverpool can do much better. Felt there were times when Bayern had too much of the ball and passed through Liverpool. What he might be particularly pleased with is one goal conceded in the 4 matches against top-flight opposition on tour so far. Defence is perceived to be Liverpool's weak suit. Mane can't afford to lose it there. But they defend as a team, don't they, Matthew? They defend right from the front.
When you defend from the front, it is a team game, and their attacking players, you know, they really do carry their weight defensively. But the best in the Premier League, especially from last season. So, you know, it's a huge asset for the back four to know that the players in front of you are going to work as hard as what they do and cover the ground that they cover. It just makes your life easier.
Dan Lovren was saying last night that a Liverpool centre-back plays almost as a midfield player because they defend so high. He spends so much time in this part of the field. Chandler just overhit that for Milner.
It's great as well because as a centre-back you can have the ball higher up the pitch and you can be a little bit more creative with your passing and have more of an influence on the game.
It depends on what kind of centre-back you are, but... Wijnaldum. Woodburn seeing a lot of the ball. Solanke. Milner. Control again from Lallana. Really does have it on a string. Flanagan getting beyond Mane. Gomez looking to switch it to Milner, but it was a bit of a fight ball in the end.
The one advantage Klavan does have is he has a nice left foot and it always gives a nice balance to the team when the left side centre-back can play with his left foot and hit those diagonal balls and open up the pitch a little bit.
What position did you play? The left side centre-back.
Left-footed.
Mane towards Solanke. Plenty off Dominic Solanke, 6'1". Assists his best position is as a number 9. number 29 in the Liverpool squad, but it's the area of the field that he wants to play. The news of Daniel Sturridge today is pretty good. He hasn't had a scan. He felt some discomfort in his thigh after scoring the third goal last evening, but it isn't considered to be a serious injury. Divock Origi is unavailable through injury at the moment, as is Nathaniel Klein. They're the only three on the injured list. Danny Ings is making his way back, just short of match fitness at the moment. The other absentees are all being rested. Solanke conceding a free kick.
Be good to see Danny Ings back playing again. He's had such a poor run of luck with injury, and it'd be great to see him back fit and playing.
Pre-season results are what they are. A year ago, Liverpool put 4 past Barcelona at Wembley. They were top of the Premier League by the start of November. First half of last season could hardly have gone an awful lot better. First time volley difficult before Katie Barry to control.
It'll be interesting to see how that differs with Liverpool this season. I think that's the big talking point for Jurgen Klopp's team, and how well they're going to weather into the January-February period when you really are being tested physically if you've been playing a high-tempo game from the start of the season.
Yeah, they were second to Chelsea at the turn of the year, and with no European distractions. But the first month of 2017 was full of distractions and disappointments. Mane there went off to play for his country in Africa, and from that point onward, securing the 4th Champions League spot became the only priority, and to be honest, a bit of a slog in the end. Mane does wind opponents up just with his sheer competitiveness. I don't think that Jose Maria Jimenez has helped him much in that instance.
Bit of a needless yellow card, wasn't it? I don't really quite see the need or why he was booked there, to be honest. Just
that's what the referee exception to.
I suppose you just can't raise your hands in anywhere near the opponent's face. It's a straight yellow card.
That's well won by Lallana again. Solanke into the path of Mane. Hacked away by Cranevita.
You see that high-tempo pressing from Liverpool again, nearly created a goal-scoring opportunity from nothing.
Liverpool getting the decision on the far side too. Correa, well seen by Chan. On towards Woodburn. Chan winning it strongly again. Here's Solanke. Lallana now to Mane. Flanagan with a chance to pick a cross towards Solanke, headed away though by Matthijs Cranevita. Some building pressure now from Liverpool. Milner to Solanke, showing well again. Thomas able to run the ball away and being dragged back by James Milner. And another yellow card
think he knew what he was doing there, James Milner. He just got caught the wrong side, and he nearly concealed it well just by holding on to his arm there underneath his own arm. But as you can see, is a yellow card.
Certainly in competitive games, and I suppose Felix Brick is going to referee this one as if it were a Champions League match. It's not necessarily the way in all these pre-season games. Mane's still giving him an earful, which is probably not the best idea. Certainly the conclusion of Atletico's match last night against Napoli was very fiery indeed. Diego Godin was sent off. Augusto Fernandez. Salico. To Salico. First touch isn't perfect. You know that a Liverpool player is going to be able to put you under pressure immediately, and Salico had to take evasive action and concede a free kick.
Atletico, I find it very difficult to get hold of the ball and play with the ball in the middle of the park at the moment. The way Liverpool is set up and the pressure they apply, they've got to start to create a few more overloads and get some bodies in the middle of the park, some 1-2s, and kind of get something going.
The voice of Matthew Upson watching the Audi Cup final here from Munich. Liverpool's second pre-season match here in Munich in successive nights, and a much changed Liverpool team. Taking time to settle, but taking the game to Atletico Madrid. All the officials are German, so he can communicate with them as freely as he likes. His German's pretty good, Jurgen Klopp. Solanke now to Chan. Lallana. Wijnaldum to Milner. Mane was drifting in late at the far post, and the ball only just drifted beyond him.
Great run from those wide areas. Always difficult to pick up as a full-back or a centre-back when the wide player makes that run straight into the middle of the box from wide.
It's interesting, lack of width was directed at as a criticism of Liverpool at times last season. There's a lot of excitement about the wing play of Salah and Mane, but they don't necessarily bring natural width. They're probably as much goal-scoring as goal-creating wide men, aren't they?
Definitely. Mane in particular, and especially if he, depending on what side he plays on, you know, he played it on the started on the left last night, and coming inside was very dangerous.
The Salico has got free momentarily. It needed an important intervention from Gomez. Milner was just defeated for a second there by the right back. Yeah, it's not heels on the chalk width necessarily that Mane and Salah are going to give you, but the development of Trent Alexander-Arnold and the promise perhaps that Andrew Robertson offers are fullbacks who will get forward and provide that when Liverpool need it. Milner's a little hamstrung sometimes, having to try to get the ball onto his more natural right foot.
Yeah, he's not going to naturally flow down the left wing and cross on the run with his left foot. So, yeah, it does take the kind of pace that you can attack at. But, you know, the two wide players, Mane and Salah, they will come inside. They will be a goal threat, and it does open up for the fullback to get on the outside and have a creative contribution to the team.
Do you think Liverpool can afford to play both and a forward like Firmino, or is that too many attacking players for big Premier League matches against the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City?
I think a lot of that depends on how they set up in the central midfield players, and whether or not they recruit somebody who's an out-and-out defensive midfield player, a ball winner, somebody who's going to sit in there and be a rock for the team, and a pivot that everything can go off. I think that type of player, which I believe Jurgen Klopp's looking at, would be a great asset for them and allow the fullbacks to maybe dip their toe in the attacking side of it a little bit more.
Interesting to try to second-guess Jurgen Klopp's team at Watford a week on Saturday, bearing in mind that Liverpool will have a very important Champions League playoff game 3 or 4 days after that. The draw for the Champions League playoff round, incidentally, is at about 11 AM UK time on Friday. Gomez and Clavin right got away with that. Wijnaldum to Milner. Woodburn unable to escape the Atletico. Lallana doing well again. He was just unbalanced there. Free kick given against Katie Barek. Mane and Lallana. Flanagan. Mane. Just found a cross and a good one too. Jimenez had to improvise. Chan tried a spectacular volley. Correa can't escape.
I don't think anyone expected Mane to be able to deliver that ball from where he was. I mean, he's so sharp. When he stands a player up and stands him still and then goes, he always gets that half a yard. And to squeeze it in from that angle and in the area that he delivered the ball in there was a great ball in the box. Just a shame nobody anticipated it coming in.
Caught attackers and defenders by surprise. Jurgen Klopp said last night he needs playing time. He says he's not where he can be fitness-wise as yet. Sadio Mane. He looked far off. It's a foul by Chan on Thomas Partey. Chan's played in that central role a couple of times now. Wijnaldum has a couple of times. Henderson has a couple of times. It's a key position, the hub of the Liverpool team. Particularly if they're unable to complete the deal for Leipzig's Naby Keita, which now seems to be the case. This is Angel Correa. Barry, Augusto Fernandez. Atletico still forward. It's a good cross and a really good save by Ward, but he can't keep out the second effort. Katie Barry gives Atletico the lead after an astonishing stop by Danny Ward. And it's Diego Simeone's team that take the lead with one of his untried youngsters, 19-year-old Albanian Katie Barry, finding the net.
It's a classic case of Atletico not really having much of the game and sitting back, but when they've struck, they've done it with real quality. It's a great crossfield ball and a fantastic first-time ball on the volley into the box, and what a save. But I have to say, the reaction here, Liverpool were just a little bit on their heels. When that ball, I think everyone was expecting it to go in. When that ball came back off the crossbar, needed to see a bit more of a reaction here on the second ball there from Clavin. He just gets caught standing still. Barry's on the move. And there's only one winner in that situation.
Yeah, Danny Ward deserved better for the save that he made from Correa. He deserved a better reaction from the defenders in front of him.
Absolutely.
So that's the man who reacted quickest. Katie Barry. Only 15 minutes of senior experience to his name in a Spanish Cup tie last year, staking his claim in these pre-season matches and registering the first goal of the Audi Cup final.
But you can understand how when Jurgen Klopp in his interview referred to Atletico Madrid as a difficult challenge. You know, even with these many changes, the players understand the system and what's required of them so well that they're soaking up pressure. They'll sit deep, then they'll step up the pitch and move forward. You know, they've attacked with real quality there. And you know, when you play against teams like that, it's very, very difficult.
Vieto. He's got a foot on the ball. It can almost be more disheartening to concede the first goal when you've had the better of the match than if you've been totally outplayed. There's Correa, who was foiled by Ward's acrobatics.
Definitely, because it has that element of the opposition feeling like we haven't really even got going yet and we're 1-0 up. So for Liverpool, it's a test for them now mentally if they can get on top of the game and raise it.
And a good test, because there were too many home games last season with their fans liking where they did concede the first goal and then it became an almighty struggle for them, a test of patience both for players and fans to wear down their opponents. They've got very obdurate opponents this evening. Header on by Correa towards Vieto. That's Klavan. A real test of a defender's instincts to be able to follow a ball in like that with the same appetite to get to it as a striker who's looking for a goal for himself.
Definitely, that's strikers survive on bits and scraps like that. You know, top strikers, they're always on the move, and I think as a defender, the moment you stand still, you're leaving it to chance, and it's exactly what Klavan did. He just had a momentary lapse where he stood still and got caught.
Lallana finding Mane, forced away by Thomas. A couple of good combinations now between Lallana and Mane, very much on the same wavelength. For a better reaction to those crosses. So Matthias Kranabita, who's some discomfort, and he was caught there by Sadio Mane. It was a reckless lunge at the ball.
Looked like a bit more of a scrape as opposed to catch your studs in the turf and really roll your ankle. A bit more of a kick than anything, but Mane has to be a little bit careful with his challenges at the moment on a yellow card.
Well, a couple of instances last season where he found himself in this kind of predicament. His enthusiasm does rather get the better of him, which is no consolation to the player who gets studs across the ankle. Looking for Mane again.
Here we see again a lovely crossfield ball, and it's a real art, that volley, that cross volley, but fantastic save from Ward to get a fingertip on this and to guide that onto the bar. Fabulous save.
Jurgen Klopp has made it clear that he sees a three-way fight for the Liverpool goalkeeper's jersey this season between Boris Karius, Simon Mignolet and Danny Ward, who was a star of Huddersfield Town's promotion campaign last season. Huddersfield wanted to keep him for another year, but Klopp wanted him back at Anfield to contest the #1 jersey. He has been suffering with a minor back injury during the pre-season, so this is the first time that the 6'4" Welsh international has figured. Play a couple of Premier League games for Klopp in spring of last year. Won by Flanagan, but it runs kindly for Thomas Partey. Interesting to see as the evening wears on how many of his other senior players Jurgen Klopp is prepared to risk in search of a result. He has said that Philippe Coutinho and Mo Salah will not figure at all tonight, along with Dejan Lovren and Alberto Moreno. They have already been told they've got the night off. Daniel Sturridge is not stripped because of the injury picked up last night. Correa. Vieto beaten to it. Here's Woodburn. Mane. Solanke. It's outnumbered. Liverpool have to pick their times to press against a team like this. There's no point in just using up energy senselessly.
No, you can fall into that trap. You can get a little bit restless. You go 1-0 down, you go chasing it, and all of a sudden you kind of burn yourself out. It's important they keep their shape, stick to the game plan. It's going to be difficult. You know, the second game in succession, you've got to be smart.
And when you press together. Wijnaldum tossed into the path of Flanagan. Big season ahead of John Flanagan, who's had so much bad luck with injuries. He was left back in the team that almost won the title 3 years ago for Liverpool. Careful. Back in the play area. It's like those seats on Ant and Deck's Saturday night takeaway that you can win. I really think that his family have won some kind of competition to be able to bring the kids' bedroom to the touchline.
It's a first for me.
Well, I'm not sure it'll catch on. That's what you call safe standing on the bed. Klavan. A bit aimless that. He ran out of patience.
Yeah, hopeful ball from Klavan. Doesn't need to give away possession. They're far better off just moving the ball and waiting for the right moment to make a more decisive pass.
Solanke. Noma. It has been given. It's a little disjointed this evening, Liverpool. Understandably, in terms of the number of changes and unfamiliar places, one or two of them in slightly unfamiliar positions. actual training sessions and the training regime will have been far more demanding than during the season, during this pre-season period. Gomez's challenge wasn't the best. The referee might bring it back for free kick, even though there's an offside. One or two of the players might be feeling a little leggy, a little leg weary.
It's definitely the case at this time of year. You're trying to get the mileage into your body. You know, so you've got to bear it in mind with these matches. You want to see quality and you want to see high tempo play, but your main objective is to get as many game minutes and kilometres of match play into your body to prepare you for a league season, and that is the main objective.
3 yellow cards now for Liverpool. It's Gomez's foul. It's the last action of a half in which Liverpool have had more of the game without creating too much in the way of clear-cut opportunities, and where, despite one outstanding save from Danny Ward, Atletico Madrid, through Vasilico's cross and Katie Barre's finish, have managed to produce the crucial moment of the first half. We'll have the thoughts of Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler with Jackie in just a moment. At half-time in Munich, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Liverpool 0.